Emerged from their tunnels a moment ago. We are just about ready for football as the Jags get set to match up with the Houston Texans. It's the first weekend of autumn and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And he's got room. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A big play there out of the running game. Opening quarter, his opening carry of the game, and I think they'll give it to him a few more times, as they should.
You're exactly right about that. With that type of a run, you want to repeat it many times until they show signs of stopping it. I think he did his visualization exercises before this one, and they're paying off.
And he'll just get rid of it.
So I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. He's got the ball comes out, and the Jags grab it. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. A lot of talk this week about ball security. In fact, they added an extra period in practice to be more secure with the ball. It didn't work out there.
Well, sometimes you just get overexcited during the game. You may all of a sudden make your catch, see some open field, and decide you're going for it, and not realizing that danger lurks while you're doing so. And there's your end result right there.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Well, this defense for the Texans, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Juan Thornhill. And the Texans are going to take over at their own 41. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual type plays, they've got to have short memories, don't they? DB gets beat, wipe it away, quarterback throws a pick, has to do the same thing.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They are riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings, because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much. Don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who play best, and don't worry about the rest of it.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Shotgun handoff to Gibson. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 50 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Throwing, Jones. Eluding the pressure right. He's got a man. It's his fullback. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you, and you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Deebo Samuel, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Texans have taken the early lead. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Winless to start the year at 0-2, and now they get the Thursday night game here in Week 3. So, I don't know, does the fact that they're back out so quickly, Charles, help or hurt their cause?
Oh, I say unequivocally help, because you always want the Thursday game earlier in the schedule rather than later, just because the grind of the season hasn't really set in yet. But also, if they can get a win here, they get a mini open week, recharge a little bit, and carry some fresh momentum into the rest of the season.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Wilson. The open man here, Renfro.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as
the ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. And this defense looking like they have come to play the pick 6, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visits. What do we hear during these drills?
Pass.
Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski, that's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away from the 6. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. At their own 21-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball.
And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week, he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but, boy, he's playing really well. Now Jones.
And that is incomplete here.
Well, defensively, you're over there trying to catch your breath and try not to show the offense that you're a little bit fatigued. You're right back out there after the turnover. Now they've got to work towards getting another couple of stops and forcing them into at least a long field goal situation.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Off the play fake, Jones. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Jones. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Hall. And the Jaguars are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. It had been a near-perfect beginning to this football game. Already a double-digit lead first quarter, but their first misstep.
And you know how it is, partner. Sometimes when everything's going right, you start to feel like you can do just about anything you want on the field. This one didn't work out. If I were him, I'd go to my defensive captain and say, pick me up, my man. Help me out.
The tackle is made by Adoree Jackson. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6. To throw is Wilson. He finds his target, Allen. And they work this route upfield across the 45.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They've needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Now Wilson. Hunter Henry brings it in. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Wilson. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. That's sacked by Khalil Mack. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Kamara. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Now Wilson. And he's got the open man. It's Allen on the comebacker. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
A very important third down conversion right there, because when you're trailing and find yourself this deep in enemy territory, the kicker's not even part of your thought process. You got to make it pay off with 6. Nice connection right there to set up 1st and goal.
Here's Wilson. Touchdown. It's complete. Keenan Allen, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars are back within a score. Aldrich Rosas on for the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. Taken in at the 3. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. On 2nd down, a run with Gibson. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 64 yards for him on the ground so far tonight, as he has been terrific in this first half. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Off play action. Jones. He finds his man, complete. It's Ballard. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
And partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. And he's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Off the play fake. Jones. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Working with a 2nd and 4. Back to throw. Jones. Throw right side. Caught by Goddard, the tight end. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
They'll run on 1st down. Gibson. And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Here's a give to Gibson. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves them with third and about 6 yards to go.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
Seventh play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. That's Samuel, caught left side. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Hall. And the Jags are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, this was a 14-0 game not too long ago. Things were looking pretty good. And then you give up the touchdown on the last drive. Now the interception.
So that's a lesson in trying to stay vigilant, isn't it? You have to stay on top of things. Can't relax too much because, as you noted, things change. Now they've got to go out there and get a spark going again and try and slow down this comeback.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's second down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think. They've got his man complete. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A big play that time for Jacksonville. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Now it's Wilson. For Keenan Allen, that's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Now it's Wilson. Flush to his right. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Juan Thornhill. And the Texans are going to take over at their own 2-yard line. I know it appeared he was saying, hey, get me the football, I'm open, but I don't know if that's a pass that he should have thrown there.
Well, I don't think we've ever met a wide receiver that doesn't think he is open or is about to be open.
True.
So when you throw your hand up in the air and tell your quarterback, hey, I'm available, he's trusting that you are. In this case, he was not, and it turned into disaster for them.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And he'll go out of bounds after getting this across the 15. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. From the gun, Jones. Flushed out right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. A big connection on that one. 45 yards. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This from 54 yards away. Gonzalez's kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with a coach and our EA Sports halftime report. Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. The Jaguars with work to do. They trail here as we are back underway on EA Sports. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And they're on the short end of the scoreboard here. Charles, what adjustments, if any, do you think they need to make for the second half?
Well, paraphrasing the gold medal hockey winning coach Herb Brooks, I just say you continue to play your game. Throw the ball. They had success doing it in the first half, so make sure you keep getting the ball to your playmakers, a little bit more to the perimeter perhaps, but above all, play your game.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. On the ground, Kamara. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the shotgun, Wilson. He's going to find and complete it to Renfro. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. And the Jaguars send out their punter. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Jones. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be just shy of the 20 at the 19 as he goes out of bounds. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. operating from the gun. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags, and I believe this is going to be a first down. So big turn of events there. They had him sacked on third down, but the hand to the face going to give him new life.
And when it comes to protecting quarterbacks, partners, you well know, these officials are not going to hesitate if they see a tug on the mask. Heck, if they see a hand up near the mask, the flag's going to come out.
So the penalty yards marched off on the face mask. Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Jones. And his throw is incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Gibson here running out of the gun. Shoves him aside. 74 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Oh, Jones has just thrown his 3rd interception. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And they are going to set up short at the 40-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where is he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half. And that trend is continuing here.
2nd down, and it's Kamara again. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. Third down now, and those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And the Texans are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. That is now 5 interceptions that he has thrown in this ball game. If I asked you to speculate what's possibly going on in his head, what would you say?
Well, if he's as mentally strong as I believe he is, he understands that not all of these picks have been his fault. You know, some of the throws, yes, but there have been a good number of them where he hasn't been helped by his own receivers, and they've turned into interceptions. So he knows if he keeps firing, perhaps good things can happen, not just in this game, but especially in later ones.
He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender.
Gibson gets hit, and he fumbles it. And the Jags grab it, and his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. So potentially a turning point here in the third quarter. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. Working with a 2nd and 3. A handoff running left is Gibson. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Complete out to Samuel on the quick throw. 7 yards, the pickup there.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3 at the 45-yard line.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Jones. He finds his man, complete. That's Ballard. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 25-yard line.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Now Jones on 1st and 10. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. He finds his man, complete. It's Ballard. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. That's Deion Dawkins, the left tackle. Here's Jones to throw on 2nd down. He finds his man, complete. It's Ballard. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Jones. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for 4th. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. He hit his first, this one from 38. Gonzalez's kick is good. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the fourth.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist. But time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He gets this one to Boyd. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Throwing is Wilson. And his throw here is going to be incomplete.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
And the Jaguars send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Back to throw. Jones. That's out to the flat for Gibson. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
The Texans on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, Jones. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Ballard. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
On 1st down, it's Gibson. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. They'll go again with Gibson. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They'll run with Gibson. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line.
Brandon, unfortunately, I've been here before. They've had 2 opportunities to stop them, so this is demoralizing. They haven't gotten it done. Now you're calling all your blitzes, all your attack defenses, but you're not worried about playing your normal position. You're going to take chances now.
Well, you said it. 2 third-down opportunities to get off the field. Couldn't do it, and the clock continues to roll. They'll run on first down. Gibson. 104 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the fourth quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage, because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands they're going to get additional guys running at the quarterback.
Into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did.
They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up and keep going at them. If I'm them, I'm thinking about going at it 4 straight times.
Gibson again. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Antonio Gibson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans are closing in on a 3rd straight victory to start the campaign. Gonzalez good on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to an even 20.
Jaguars 7. St. Gonzalez is set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. He's got a man open. It's Hunter Renfrow. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Clock management. And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the official saw, as this play will stand as is. Buying time to his left. Finding some room at midfield. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into his windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw, so maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw into the hands of Henry here.
And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A big play that time on the catch and run. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the fourth, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Russell Wilson taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Jaguars have got it back to a 2-score game here in the fourth. Extra point hugged the upright a bit, but he gets it to go. And that cuts this lead down to 13. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away.
Taken in at the 3. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. And he stopped immediately there. Officially, no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Second and 10 at the 25-yard line.
And they take a knee. So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
Oh, without question. When you force 4 turnovers, you get to